We decided that mounting the kit on a setup like this, on a stabilised gimbal, it would be a nice halfway house between the more kind of traditional aerials you get with heavy lifters and the crazy, like, dynamic style that comes with FPV. That way we could use the environment to get some really dynamic kind of sweeps and things like that.
Great. This is going to be absolutely brilliant.
There was a lot of tech there that had to be put onto this fairly small platform, really. I think we were all surprised actually how well all of the equipment fitted together, and it meant that it would take 3 people to operate. You had to have a pilot, gimbal operator, so that you could frame the shots independently of the direction that the drone was flying in, and then you also needed a 3rd person to pull focus as well.
This can all come across because look, the weight is now further across because of this.
It became apparent very quickly that the BS1H really is a great camera for this kind of setup. One of the best things about it is the ability to run HDMI and SDI at the same time. So we used the HDMI output to run the raw signal to the Ninja. Then we ran the SDI output to a wireless transmitter for monitoring. It really does make it perfect, really, for rigging onto hardware such as drones. We also then realised that I had a wireless focus system that would probably work for what we needed. So that then meant that we would have full control over all aspects of the shoot, which is exactly what we were looking for.
Go again.
Initially we weren't really sure what it would be like trying to attach the Ninja to this kind of setup, but it actually worked surprisingly well, and I think we were all quite impressed.
Ooh. Not going to be going that close in though, are we? So I'll be pretty scared. The propeller would be in his face if it was that close.
We'd done some tests on the ground and it all seemed to be working okay. Then it was time to go out into the field then and put it up in the air for the first time.
Brand new.
Seeing it going up in the air for the first time wasn't scary at all. Never any doubt in my mind. Once we'd completed a few test flights and we were confident that all was working well, we were pretty much all set for the following day. Having arranged some private land with a road to operate from, we planned out a few key shots.
Channel 1.
I wanted it to be immediately apparent to a viewer that this is literally putting the rig that you've been using on the ground into the sky. Rather than big sweeping wide landscape shots, we wanted to go tight, and we wanted to shoot quite up close and personal to the bike and track the bike, not necessarily what you'd be used to seeing on a drone, that kind of tight field of view. We could pull in and out of the bike, could actually get some really nice depth of field in the shots, which is, you know, pretty unique for drone footage. So I decided to use a 35mm Canon FD lens on the drone as well as a 55mm.
Just wait, mate, it's just going to be gorgeous.
One of the massive benefits of this kind of setup would be that it would allow a DP to shoot with the same camera and lenses that they shot the rest of the project with, which is a huge benefit for kind of continuity, and it would open up all sorts of kind of creative options as well.
The first one, we're just going to try and hoover up some tight just tracking shots.
It's your 5 focus setup.
It is. Alright, Sean, we'll get the drone in position, mate, and we'll tell you when to go, okay? We wanted a few key tracking shots from in front and behind the bike, a few nice orbits, and then a couple of really dynamic shots, diving around trees and hedges and things like that. And then finally a nice rising shot with the bike riding off into the distance.
Yeah, this is good speed, nicely done. Okay, and now we're in shot. Okay, good.
Yeah, because I'm in 6K, I can punch in, so I think we might be better
being further back.
I mean, that's really nice, that bit.
That bit there's nice.
As soon as I'm upside with him, I'll just be on your command. Speed.
We were running a lot of very power-hungry tech on that setup, so it meant we only had a few minutes of flight time before having to bring her down, swap batteries out. I think this is where ProRes RAW really came into its own. With no ability to change camera settings when the drone is in the air, things like exposure would normally have to be well thought out beforehand.
Yeah, that's good. Good speed. Come up higher a bit. Good speed. Stay there.
Normally you'd want a different exposure for the shots that have the sky in frame and those that don't, but thanks to ProRes RAW I was able to simply expose for the sky, and then for the moments where the camera angle is pointed down at the bike at the ground, I knew I'd be able to raise the ISO in post, and as the BS1H and its full frame sensor handle low light conditions as well as a certain amount of underexposure really quite well, I had a lot of confidence in the kit. For a shoot like this, where there was absolutely zero time to waste, this really was a blessing, not having to bring the drone down just to change exposure. Shooting this in ProRes RAW really did make a big difference here.
That's when all the filters get cold. They go solid on.
Yeah, you can't.
Personally, I do actually think it's a bit of a game changer, this setup. Being able to rig this camera and recorder to a drone platform like this allows you to shoot full frame 12-bit footage in a RAW codec from the air. So you're getting crazy high quality footage that up until recently you probably would have gone to Red or ARRI to achieve. But this costs a fraction of the price. That just makes it more accessible to more people, and I love that.
And then once you lost the light, some surface stuff or something maybe.
All in all though, I'm over the moon with what we managed to achieve here, because really I just wanted to see if it could be done. And yet in a very short space of time, we managed to come up with some really lovely looking shots. And perhaps this is a first for ProRes RAW and this kind of aerial setup. All in all, it was a great experience. I had so much fun and I learnt a lot, so I can't wait to work with these guys again, because next time we can build on what we've done here and be even more ambitious, and I find that really exciting.
Yeah.
I'd like to say a huge thanks to Chris and Alex for assisting me with this and making it happen.
I just kept my thumb where it was, and